Hey, Army! Lately, many fans have started noticing something very interesting in Jungkook's behavior. It's not something loud or obvious, but rather something subtle. Small gestures, little expressions, and tiny habits that somehow remind many people of one particular person, Kim Taehyung. For those who have followed BTS for many years, moments like these often feel familiar. Sometimes the smallest actions reveal the biggest emotions. A simple glance, a smile, or even the way someone moves their hands can remind fans of a connection that has been built over time. And recently, a moment captured in a video caught the attention of many ARMY around the world. At first glance, it might have seemed like just another ordinary clip. Jungkook appeared relaxed, comfortable, and natural, just as fans have always known him to be. But as the video continued, something happened that instantly made many viewers pause and look closer. Jungkook made a small gesture. It was simple, almost effortless, but for longtime fans, it felt very familiar because it looked strikingly similar to a gesture that Taehyung had once made. For many people watching, the moment immediately brought back memories of the iconic Dynamite era. That period was filled with unforgettable moments between the members of BTS, and especially between Taehyung and Jungkook. Their playful interactions, their quiet conversations, and the way they naturally gravitated toward each other created countless memories that fans still cherish today. So when Jungkook repeated a gesture that reminded fans of Taehyung, it didn't feel random. Instead, it felt meaningful. Of course, some might say that such interpretations are simply fans reading too deeply into small details, but for those who have followed their friendship over the years, moments like this often feel different. There's a sense of familiarity, almost as if certain habits have naturally become part of Jungkook's behavior, and perhaps that is not surprising. After all, when people spend a lot of time together, they often begin to influence each other in subtle ways. Friends start sharing the same jokes, the same expressions, and sometimes even the same body language. It happens naturally, without anyone planning it, without anyone even noticing. This is something psychologists often talk about. People who are emotionally close tend to unconsciously mirror each other's behavior. Over time, these mirrored actions become almost automatic. So when fans saw Jungkook making a gesture that reminded him of Taehyung, many didn't see it as a coincidence. Instead, they saw it as a small but beautiful reflection of the bond the two have built over the years. Jungkook has always been someone who expresses himself in very natural ways. He doesn't seem to follow a script or carefully calculate every movement he makes. Instead, he tends to act spontaneously, guided by his emotions in the moment. This is part of what makes him so beloved by fans. What you see is often exactly what you get, and that authenticity makes moments like these feel even more genuine. In the video that recently caught fans' attention, Jungkook appeared completely relaxed. He wasn't performing on stage or trying to impress anyone. He was simply being himself. And in that comfortable moment, the gesture appeared, a small movement, a tiny echo of something Taehyung once did. For fans who have watched their interactions over the years, it felt almost like a quiet message, not something intentional or staged, but something that emerged naturally from Jungkook's subconscious, as if Taehyung was still somewhere in his thoughts, even if they weren't physically together at that moment. This is one of the reasons why many fans find their relationship so fascinating. It never feels forced or artificial. Instead, it feels organic, something that has grown naturally through years of shared experiences. From trainee days to global superstardom, Taehyung and Jungkook have spent an incredible amount of time together. They have performed on stages across the world, traveled to countless countries, and faced both joyful and difficult moments side by side. When people go through so much together, their bond inevitably deepens. And sometimes that bond becomes visible in the smallest of ways: a glance, a smile, or a gesture that reminds everyone of the person who helped shape those memories. Of course, not everyone interprets these moments the same way. Some critics argue that fans are simply imagining connections that don't really exist. Others claim that such gestures are performed intentionally to attract attention. But for many ARMY, those explanations feel unconvincing because the moments they see don't look staged, they don't feel rehearsed. Instead, they appear spontaneous and sincere, the kind of natural behavior that happens when someone is simply being themselves. And that sincerity is something fans have always admired about Jungkook. Throughout his career, Jungkook has rarely tried to present himself as anything other than who he truly is. Whether he is laughing with his members, practicing late into the night, or quietly sharing thoughts with fans, his authenticity has always been clear. That same authenticity was visible in the video that sparked these discussions. The way he moved, the way he reacted, the way he repeated a gesture that reminded so many people of Taehyung. It didn't look like something planned, it looked like something natural. And sometimes, those natural moments say more than words ever could. For many fans, this small moment served as a reminder of the deep connection between the two artists, a connection that has been visible in countless moments throughout the years. From playful teasing during interviews to quiet conversations captured backstage, Taehyung and Jungkook have shared many interactions that reveal a sense of comfort and familiarity. It's the kind of connection that develops when two people truly understand each other, when they know each other's habits, when they recognize each other's moods, and when they feel completely at ease in each other's presence. Over time, fans have come to recognize these subtle signs. They've noticed the way Jungkook often glances toward Taehyung during performances. They've seen the way Taehyung sometimes smiles when Jungkook speaks, and they've observed how the two occasionally mirror each other's gestures without even realizing it. These small details might seem insignificant to outsiders, but to fans who have watched their journey for years, they form a larger picture, a picture of friendship, trust, and deep mutual respect. And perhaps that is why moments like the recent gesture feel so meaningful. Because they remind fans that even when the members of BTS are busy with their individual schedules, and even when military service temporarily separates them, the connections they built over the years continue to exist. They remain part of who they are, part of their memories, and part of the way they naturally express themselves. In the end, what fans saw in that video may have been just a small gesture, but sometimes the smallest gestures carry the most meaning. They reveal emotions that words cannot fully express. They hint at memories shared between two people, and they remind us that genuine connections don't disappear simply because time passes or circumstances change. For many ARMY watching that moment, it felt like a quiet confirmation of something they had always believed, that the bond between Jungkook and Taehyung is something real, something sincere, and something that continues to exist even in the smallest and most unexpected ways. For fans who have followed BTS since their early days, moments like these often bring back a flood of memories. Taehyung and Jungkook didn't just become close overnight. Their connection developed gradually, shaped by years of shared experiences, challenges, and growth. When BTS first debuted, the members were still incredibly young. They were learning not only how to perform on stage, but also how to navigate life together as a team. Living in the same dorms, practicing for endless hours, and facing the pressures of the entertainment industry created an environment where strong bonds naturally formed. Among those bonds, the relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook always stood out to many fans. Taehyung, with his warm personality and unique charm, often acted as someone who brought comfort and laughter to the group. Jungkook, as the youngest member, was still discovering his own place in the team, but over time, the two developed a dynamic that fans found both heartwarming and fascinating. In many early videos and behind-the-scenes clips, it was common to see them standing close to each other, joking around, or simply sharing quiet moments in the background. Sometimes their interactions were playful, sometimes they were calm and thoughtful, but they always felt genuine. As the years passed and BTS grew into global superstars, those small moments became treasured memories for fans who would watch their journey from the beginning. That is why even the smallest gesture today can trigger such a strong reaction among ARMY. It isn't just about what happens in the moment, it's about everything that came before it. Every shared stage, every concert, every late-night practice session, every moment of encouragement when things became difficult. All of those experiences become part of the bond between people. And when fans see echoes of that bond in present-day moments, it naturally feels meaningful. The recent gesture from Jungkook reminded many people of the way Taehyung sometimes moves his hands while talking or reacting to something. It was a movement that longtime fans instantly recognized. Some viewers even went back to older videos, comparing the gestures side by side. To their surprise, the similarity was striking. Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean Jungkook consciously decided to copy Taehyung. In fact, the opposite might be true. When people are very close, they often adopt each other's habits without realizing it. Friends begin using the same phrases. They laugh in similar ways. They make the same facial expressions. And sometimes their body language begins to mirror each other as well. This phenomenon is something psychologists refer to as behavioral mirroring. It happens naturally when two individuals spend a lot of time together and develop a strong emotional connection. In that sense, Jungkook's gesture could simply be a reflection of the countless hours he and Taehyung have spent side by side over the years. The influence of those years doesn't just disappear, it becomes part of a person's natural behavior. And perhaps that is why the moment felt so authentic. Fans didn't see someone trying to imitate another person intentionally. Instead, they saw someone acting naturally, revealing traces of the people who have influenced him most. For ARMY who love both Taehyung and Jungkook, moments like this feel incredibly special. They are reminders of the history the two share, a history filled with laughter, creativity, and mutual support. One of the things that has always stood out about Taehyung and Jungkook's relationship is the sense of comfort they seem to feel around each other. In many group interviews, Jungkook often appears relaxed when Taehyung is nearby. Their conversations flow easily, and their playful teasing often brings smiles to the entire group. At the same time, there are also quieter moments where the two simply sit next to each other, observing what is happening around them. Those calm interactions reveal another side of their connection, a side built on trust and familiarity. Fans often describe it as an unspoken understanding between them. The kind of understanding that doesn't require constant words. Instead, it shows itself through subtle gestures, a glance across the room, a shared smile, or a moment where one person instinctively reacts to the other. Over time, these little details have become something that fans love to observe, not because they want to overanalyze every interaction, but because they appreciate the sincerity behind those moments. In an industry where many relationships can sometimes appear staged or overly managed, the natural chemistry between BTS members has always felt refreshing. And the dynamic between Taehyung and Jungkook is often seen as one of the clearest examples of that authenticity. Even when the group's schedule became incredibly busy, the two continued to show signs of their close bond. Whether it was during concerts, variety shows, or behind-the-scenes footage, their interactions consistently reflected a sense of comfort and familiarity. That comfort is something fans value deeply, because it shows that beyond the stage lights and global fame, the members still share genuine friendships. Another reason why fans find these moments so meaningful is the current situation with military service. As many people know, several BTS members have been fulfilling their mandatory duties, which means fans don't get to see them together as often as before. This temporary separation has naturally made ARMY more nostalgic. Fans often revisit old videos, performances, and memories from earlier years. They look back at the moments that defined BTS's journey and celebrate the relationships that helped shape the group. So when a new clip appears showing a small gesture that reminds people of Taehyung and Jungkook's connection, it feels even more emotional. It's like receiving a small reminder that the bonds built over the years are still there, still strong. Even if the members are currently focusing on their individual responsibilities, and perhaps that is the most beautiful part of all. True friendships don't disappear when circumstances change. They remain part of who we are. They continue to influence our habits, our memories, and the way we interact with the world. For Jungkook and Taehyung, years of shared experiences have created a connection that fans have witnessed countless times. From their trainee days to sold-out stadium tours, they have grown not only as artists, but also as individuals. And along that journey, their friendship has become one of the many elements that fans appreciate about BTS as a whole. The recent gesture may have lasted only a few seconds, but for ARMY who noticed it, those few seconds carried the weight of many years of memories. Memories of laughter, memories of performances, memories of two artists who helped shape each other's lives during one of the most extraordinary journeys in modern music history. And sometimes that is all it takes, just one small moment to remind fans of everything that came before it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and love moments like these between Taehyung and Jungkook, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video, ARMY!